Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good day, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the next episode of No Dice, No Glory. Sponsored by our jobs that actually pay us money, we're coming to you not at all live from an abandoned arms factory deep under a mountain in West Virginia. We are proud to proffer to you the finest in wargaming coverage. Without any further ado, let's get this show on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tales of the Sale, episode 34. We've had some technical problems with the website. Hopefully, by the time you're listening to this, those have been fixed, and you might see a bunch of episodes released in quick succession. So I'm not going to say anything about when we're recording, but I will say that we are excited to record because we were able to corral a international guest this time around. So we'll do introductions here. Obviously, I am Tom Chairborne Mullane. I am joined by Glenn, the gentleman farmer Van Meter.
Hey, everybody.
And our guest today is Maarten De Kruif, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But Maarten, if not, please correct me and tell us how to properly pronounce your beautiful name.
Maarten De Kruif. It's typically Dutch and probably unpronounceable in English.
It sounds way more pretty than I did it. I can say I've been talking to Maarten before we started recording, expressing my desire to come to the Netherlands. He told me that they have lots of stroopwafels where he is, and a lot of other stereotypically Dutch things, which I would be excited to participate in. So he's told me that I need to give him a call if I'm in Holland, and you should give me a call if you are in New York. If for no other reason than my family knows a lot of limo services because we ran one. So I'll give you a ride from the airport.
Oh, nice.
Maarten, tell us a little bit about how you started wargaming.
I started playing Dungeons and Dragons a little over 2 years ago, just because Corona hit in. We get a little bored, and I wanted to do something fun. And I started playing Dungeons and Dragons, which is not a war game; it's an RPG. But it quickly came to me that in D&D 5th edition, seafaring was not really possible. And then I come across an article or serial articles by Go Beige. I probably pronounce it wrong, but he uses Blood and Plunder to get on the sea. And that's where I met Blood and Plunder. So it was my first experience in wargaming. I haven't played wargames before. I just started playing Blood and Plunder early this year. So it's quite new, quite exciting.
What forces do you have for Blood and Plunder? What do you got?
At this moment, I only have the Dutch starter kit with some additions from the Secret Santa, from the Summer of Plunder from Glenn, and hopefully, if I'm nice and not on the naughty list, the English and 2 ships will come in.
You have to see what Santa leaves under the tree.
Yes, we have to see for that. Yes.
Did you back the Kickstarter? Raise the Black?
No, the Kickstarter was 2 years ago, and I wasn't even playing.
Right.
Yeah, I just started this year, and I wanted to play, so I could have been in a late pledge then, but it was very unclear when it would come out. So I started playing I started playing safe and bought something from the original 2 books.
So I'm also going to ask you a fun D&D question, Maarten.
Yes.
If you were to give yourself an alignment, what would it be?
It would be neutral love.
Okay. Because I feel like Glenn would be like chaotic neutral. I feel like that's how I would place Glenn. Mm-hmm. Glenn's like an agent of chaos. I would say I'm chaotic good, or I'd like to think that, but I'm probably lawful good. I don't know. Have you been playing like the same game with the same crew, D&D wise, or?
No, I've played and I still play a lot of one shots online.
Cool.
We have Dutch 20. It's an online community, and we have a section of one-shotters. So when a GM says, "I want to play," they set up a game. They put out a notice, and you can say, "I want to join with this character." And when you play, you get a stamp every time your character plays, and so it levels. So you have the feeling of a campaign, but not the commitment of playing weekly or bi-weekly. And we recently started the most basic campaign, Lost of All Minds. I started it as a GM with a group of 7 players.
And it's working. Are you doing it? Is it entirely online? You're doing it through like?
No, the campaign is live.
Oh, that's great.
Come together once a month, because we have 2 divorced dads. We have 2 players live over an hour drive away. So and we own an optical store, so we have a lot of things on our minds and on our hands. So once a month is just a nice playing speed frequency to play. So no, that's quite nice.
Very cool. Yeah, I do like a bi-weekly game online because a lot of the friends that I made in college have kind of moved far. So, but we've been playing the same campaign for 3 years, I want to say. We haven't gotten very far, and I feel like we're cartoonishly bad at it, but that's part of the fun. So
there's no good or bad in D&D. If you're having fun, you're doing it well.
I usually try to find out what the DM's plan is and then like destroy that plan. So
It doesn't sound like lawful good. I
No,
just gotta say.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. He keeps trying to revoke my paladin card because I keep doing things a paladin like wouldn't do. But like I have like an OCD paladin, so he's constantly trying to clean things. And there's been several times like during fights where he just like starts cleaning stuff and gets distracted. But it's in character, so he can't complain. And my law is the law of being clean. So I'm technically correct, which is the best kind of correct, like as you know, technically correct. So we're going to jump around and just talk about what we've been up to, which I suspect, given my conversations with Glenn over the past month or so, hasn't been a heck of a lot. We've both been super busy, but we haven't been busy in a fun hobby way. And after that, we'll kind of ask Maarten what he's been up to in terms of projects, but we'll ask you about the tournament scene, about like the gaming scene for Blood and Plunder, because Glenn sent you a Secret Santa gift. Is that correct?
Yes.
What did Glenn send you?
Wait, no, that was
no,
that was from the Summer of Plunder.
Yes.
Oh, right.
I sacked a British or a pirate ship, and if you, as a Dutch player, sack a ship or conquer a ship, you would send units of Kapers.
So it is. What's the correct pronunciation then? It is
Kapers.
Kapers. Okay. All right.
Interesting. Someone had told me that it was Coppers, which.
No, it's like we have Cape Horn. You call it Cape Horn. We call it Kaap. It's Kaap de Goede Hoop. Kaap. So it's from that word, Kapers. And Kapers is one who get a letter of marque and they start, plundering.
Interesting.
Well, now I know that when I was saying capers, it was just American nonsense.
Yes, no problem.
Capers are those delicious little buds you can put in like sauces and things. Like they're really good.
Yeah,
but they're not.
And the Dutch, I just love that they gave them original Dutch names. I really like it, and especially when I watch little YouTube clips about the game. The Enterploeg is just a little bit worse than the Kapers.
Yeah, well, the first army I ever bought was the Dutch, just because they looked cool, and I liked the sculpts. I liked the way that it seemed that they would play, and they just seemed like original and fun. And I have not regretted that choice. I think that they're a really fun army, especially if you're using ships, because man, the Expert Sailors is a game changer. But you know, and I think that the new artillery rules change that too, because you could board if you want to, but you can also really use the cannons more effectively than you otherwise could.
And you have expert cannon crew of
Yeah,
artillery crew.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have
exactly.
the Zeelieden and the Kapers, you can turn around and fire the guns and reload and make it a lot easier.
I feel like that's the kind of list Glenn made for me when he was building something at the tournament, and I didn't quite understand how it worked, so I just put them in the wrong places. So I was like, "Oh, these Zeelieden they'll fire the cannons," and then he's like, "What are you doing?" Like, I built that so it would work, and I was like, "I don't understand." I'm too
The
simple.
Zeelieden are expert sailors, so changing sail settings, etc., is the main target, is the main focus. And you use some other guys, which are expert artillery guys, to man the guns.
Yeah, that's what a smart person would do.
I think that's the catch, though. The lead and do both.
Oh yeah, I guess they can. I don't know. They're cheaper though, right? I think they're cheaper. I don't remember.
I mean, the sailors.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
So wait, quick question on it's probably an etymology that's only interesting to me, but the Kapers, is that word coming from as you said, cap?
No.
Like, does that mean like people from the Cape? Like, and like Cape is in land, like a land formation, or Cape like? Am I getting this right or wrong?
It's from the word from the proverb kapen. It's to when you hijack a ship. It's the Dutch word for hijacking a ship is kapen, and someone who hijacks a ship is a kaper.
Okay, so hijackers.
That's so great. That's
if
so
someone
great.
We had in the 70s, we had a hijack on a train. It's very famous in the Netherlands. We call it kaper, treinkaper, a train hijacker.
I'm so glad that I've learned that now. Like I plan on busting it out. I'm so psyched. This is. This is my list of hijackers. So.
Yes.
If Mike, here's that word out to Mike. If we ever go earlier, the English need highwaymen.
Ooh, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. All right. Anyway, let's just jump around. So I'll talk about stuff I've been up to. I've been mostly focused on trying to make some tweaks and fixes to the website. So people that are listening to this or following stuff on No Dice, No Glory will note that the website has been having some malware issues. We should have them worked out if you are listening to this podcast, and I apologize for the delay. But as the new year opens, my hope is that our issues are behind us. I've been doing wargaming stuff, but because I'm teaching military history 2 this semester and not military history 1, the war game of choice is mostly Flames of War. So I did run a D-Day simulation for about 18 kids that played it over the course of 3 days. The beach was seized by the British, but the paratroopers did not succeed in their objectives on the back of the table. And so it's kind of a mixed bag. But I had observers come in. I had some of my former students who are active duty Marines visit because they just finished up basic and they were home, so they swung by to say hi, and they got to play a bit too because they'd played before. Other than that, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to finish Christmas shopping, and really looking forward to a holiday break where I get to build some terrain and try not to embarrass myself when we report out on all of the New Year's Eve resolutions, because I think I'm going to lose badly. So Glenn, what is your month held?
Interesting stuff going on at work. I'm actively looking for a new job, and other than that, I've been 3D printing, and I know Tom didn't want to put a time stamp on this, but let's just say that we're all eagerly awaiting gifts from a jolly chubby fellow, and I'm not talking about Mike Tunes, because at least personally, I've already gotten my Blood and Plunder starter, and I've assembled some of the pirates. I'm going to be taking the ship on vacation with me to build those, I think. And then it's going to be a speed run essentially for trying to create a demo kit from at least one starter set so I can go to the local store and hopefully wrangle up some more. Or I'm sorry, wrangle up. There's my farm talk. Shanghai some new volunteers to play.
Let me ask you an important question. We owe somebody a Blackbeard miniature. Is that in the mail?
Yes.
Or it will be soon?
Not
Okay.
yet.
But it will be soon. I also, Mike Toon has contacted me and told me that he had thrown a couple of extras in the box for me and you. So I've put aside, he gave us a couple of cool extra like sailor sprues and a couple of like, so I've set aside stuff for you. I might mail it because it's pretty light and it'll, it's not expensive. I did send my Secret Santa gift to the Netherlands. And it was so much cheaper than Norway. It was only $17, which I was really pleased about. But
I think the other thing is that you sent a larger box to
I
Norway.
did. It was way heavier, and it was like northern
'Cause
Norway.
Usually it's usually only $17 for me to wear whatever I'm sending in Europe.
Yeah, okay, that shouldn't be that bad then. Martin, did you do the Secret Santa thing this year or no?
Yes, I did. It was my first Secret Santa ever, so I really enjoyed it. And I shipped them out to Canada, but I haven't got reaction that it's arrived. But I understand that Canadian Post is having some difficulties.
Yeah, they're having some problems.
I know the package left the Netherlands, but I haven't got confirmation that it come on. So I'm anxiously waiting reaction that it's arrived at a certain famous Canadian
Oh,
Nice.
in this hobby.
we're safe because this is not going to get released until after it would arrive, I think. But I think we know who you're talking about. We'll keep his identity
Yes.
secret.
When I got the name from Adam, it was just an okay. Now I have to perform.
I will say,
I just never realized that Keanu Reeves played
I
Blood and
know,
Plunder.
but he does. But I say when I got that same name, because I think we have the same name. Last year I was intimidated, but I worked. It motivated me to work extra hard to try to make sure the stuff I sent him was up to the standards I know he paints at because he's so good. And he was really sweet and appreciative. And I also sent him like a little terrain piece with it too. And I've seen them appearing in some of like the little photo shoots and stuff that he does. So I was really pleased that he liked it. So I'm sure he's gonna love what you sent him.
Yeah,
He's a very
but
gracious
I was
guy.
I have a little uncontrollable tremor in my hands, so painting is really a hard job for me. And it's no problem when I paint my own forces, and they can be as good as I can get them. So I outsource this painting job to my wife. So big thanks to my wife.
Oh, nice. Okay, so this is a team effort then.
Yeah, she has really steady and fine motor control of hands, so she can do that all, and I cannot do that.
Well, that's doubly kind of her to help you out with that.
What else have you been doing that's game related recently?
I finished painting my Dutch starter kit, so it only needs a varnish or two to get ready for next season. I've been painting some goblins and wolves and orcs for D&D. And I'm hoping for Santa to arrive on the put package under the tree. In the Netherlands, it's normally that you celebrate Sinterklaas, which is 5th of December. But our oldest son is a type 1 diabetic, and all the Dutch treats which come with Sinterklaas is hard to manage and is probably is uncontrollable. So we skipped Sinterklaas and put all the package under the tree like you do in America. So yeah, it will be fun Sunday.
I sympathize with the diabetes issues.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but yeah, you have to do it. So we skip Sinterklaas not because we do not like it or we do not stand for it, but it's much easier to just walk around it and not have the big issues with the carbs in the sweets and in the pepernoten and everything like that.
No, I think I'd be doing the exact same thing in your position. It just makes sense.
And then all the kids in the Netherlands, they go crazy. 3 weeks from about 15th of November till 5th of December, they go absolutely wacko. The tension is high. They know Sinterklaas is in the Netherlands, and they every night there's a Sinterklaas journal on the television, and they sleep bad. And our kids are quite easy when that's coming on. But the last week before Christmas, they get a little bit itchy.
Tell us about your experience running a tournament for the first time. Because you just recently did this, and that's one of the main reasons we wanted to have you on, because it's cool to talk about what the gaming scene looks like outside of the East Coast of the U.S. So tell us about your tournament.
The tournament was nice. It was eventually we had 4 or 5 players, which were 2 seasoned players and 2 complete rookies, and myself. But I was more the organizing part than playing part. And we did, most of the time we did 2 land battles. I wanted to make a land battle an amphibious battle and a sea battle, but with 2 out of 4 players being completely novice to the game, we kept it to 2 land battles and 1 sea battle for the 2 experienced players. And it was quite nice. We had some last minute dropouts of 2 or 3 really experienced players, which was not very nice, but it happens. And I'm planning to do it next year again, and hoping to get more players into it, because it has been done before. Now people say, okay, I can do that, I can plan it, and I think the Dutchies are not very used to travel multiple hours for tournaments. I don't know that.
So where did this take place, and how many points did they play? They played the 2 land battles and the sea battles, but I imagine you had a low point total because they're beginners.
We did a 100 points land battle 2 times.
Okay.
And we had a 150 sea battle.
What was the biggest challenge running the tournament?
Getting enough players. We had a small group of people now. I was hoping for 6, 7, 8 players, but we got only 4, and it's no problem. But it's first time. It's just getting to know that the community can do this, because it was the first time in the Netherlands, ever. And we had some last minute dropouts, and no problem for that. They're nice players. They're always supportive on the Facebook, etc. But they had something last minute come up, so they weren't able to make it.
Yeah, that always happens
Yeah.
to us as well. How far did your furthest player travel?
The furthest player, I have to see, it's about, I check it out. He lives near Arnhem, which is just hour and 20 minutes drive.
That's not too bad.
Okay,
No,
that's not bad at all.
When I drive down to see Glenn, it's a 6-hour ride through most of New England. But it's pretty for part of it, especially when I get into Maryland on the Chesapeake Bay. But New Jersey is not pretty. Not to insult our New Jersey listeners, but as a New Yorker, actually, yes, I'm intending to insult you. So I'll also ask, what are some tweaks you would do next time you run it? So when you do this again next year, what are some things you think you want to have, or changes you'd make?
I think I will post it a little bit more on different online groups, because I found some extra groups which are Wargaming Netherlands, etc., and I haven't found them before. So I think it's much easier to reach the players. Yeah, I will put up a more streamlined play setting. It was also for me to find out how does it work, how do the people react, and next time we get it a little more better organized. I had it organized in our shop. We have an optical shop, so I have a location suitable to host 6, max 8 players. So I thought, if I get 8 players, I do not need to rent a place. So cost-wise, it's very efficient. Next time, I do not know what I need for that. That's just an open question mark.
When you say optical shop, do you mean like eyeglasses?
Yes.
Okay,
And my wife and I, we own our own independent optical shop.
that's awesome.
Yes, and it's just about 140 square meters. So we have a lot of room to host this type of activities if we need to. And so it was my first idea. Yeah, I have the room, I have the location. I host it there, so we limit the costs to just some electricity, a little bit of coffee, that kind of thing. And so it will be for people to attend, it's really easy to attend.
Do you have a couple of gamers in the area that you play with, like at your house? No.
No, the closest one is in Leiden, which is 45-minute drive, and Den Haag, which is half an hour from here. That are the closest player, but I have a 12-year-old. We have a 12-year-old son who's really interested in Blood of Plunder. So I hope to get my own player in the house very soon.
That's a perfect age, I think, for trying to play it.
Yeah, he's really interested in what I do, how does it work, and we start really slow. We have played some small battles. His attention time is our max, so we need small battles to keep it focused.
I find that I love using it as a teaching tool in my classroom because it's visually engaging, and when they're engaging with it in that way, they'll learn things in a way that they don't always expect. So I feel like it's such a cool thing to do with kids because it's an interactive, tactile experience. They get to touch things, they get to move things around, and I feel like a lot of the teaching techniques don't play that kind of a learning style. So I think I love it. I love it as a tool for kids.
And next, in Gouda, we have a game. It's not a convention. You can play games like Catan or Wingspan or those table games. And I've asked if it's possible to host a demo there with Blood and Plunder.
Is there a person that stocks Blood and Plunder in the city, or no?
No, the only one who sells from the Netherlands is Tabletopper.
Okay.
And he's really in the northeastern part of the Netherlands. So if I want to write to him, it costs me about 2.5, 3 hours to get there.
Ugh, okay. Well, I will say that if there's a local convention and you want prize support, I'm willing to bet that Mike and the folks at Firelock in Miami are going to have a way to get it to you. Did they give you prize support for this one? They did.
Yes, they did give. Yes, they did. Yeah, they were great. They were really supportive.
That's good. Mike's always great about helping the community out.
Yes, and I spoke to Danny from Tabletopper on the last big gaming convention in November. And we met for the first time, which was quite nice to just see the faces, shake hands. And he said, if you need me, just give me a text. And I have some stuff ready to host demos, etc. So yeah, he's really supportive too.
So for somebody who is there in the Netherlands looking to get into the game, do you have any advice for like a new player that, based on your experiences, that you would pass on?
What I did, I started looking all those how to play Blood and Plunder from Philo Games. Those nice 6 or 8 movie clips, about 3/4 or an hour a piece. And I've looked through on tabletop the bold guy from, I don't know where he is. He's talking like a little bit Irish accent. I don't know how he's called. I've watched them all. Yeah, and if you're really local, yeah, try to find some players and play a starting game. I did it with 2 players. One with Sea Battle. He wanted to play Sea Battle. It was my first game ever. And we played a really nice Sea Battle, and it was quite interesting. And you make mistakes. Yeah, you make mistakes because you do not know all the rules. And I played a big land battle against Robert, who's in The Hague. And yeah, it depends. If you live in a rural area, if you live in the northern of the Netherlands, yeah, I think you can call Tabletopper and play a game there. But yeah, it depends. And we have on Facebook, like we have the worldwide Facebook group from Philo Games. I started my own Dutch one. So just to get people to get together.
So, Maarten, you mentioned that there are conventions in your area for this kind of thing, and you're planning on possibly trying to set something up for Blood and Plunder at one of the conventions. When is the next big convention or event that's happening in your area?
Yeah, the local event is 15th of January, but I will not be able to attend it because we're out of the country. We're going to München in Germany.
Oh, cool.
For an optical
conference.
Yeah, no, you can buy frames. It's just
it's a trade convention or a trade show. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, a trade show. You buy frames. You can see all the new things in frames, lenses, special equipment, etc. And we go there for 3 days. So it's just the same weekend. And so I'm not able, but the next one will be in March, 15th of March, 12th of March. I'm not sure out of my head. Dus just how we call it, out of my head is uit het hoofd, just from the head. It's just Dutch, really, yes, like our, we have football-wise, we have a national coach, Louis van Gaal. And he has the most wonderful sayings, just translated directly into English. So it's a little bit.
Yeah, I was teasing Maarten on the chat before we got on here because the Netherlands was playing the US in the World Cup, and I was expecting us to be destroyed, and we were.
You were not completely destroyed. We were absolutely extremely effective. Nothing more. Our gameplay was terrible to watch. But very effective. It's really un-Dutch. But most of the time we play attractive football, but we end up exiting early. And this time we were played a little bit more defensive and really effective on the counter.
Well, I do have some Argentinian students who have been absolutely insufferable. They've been playing their national anthem in my class randomly, wearing their flag as a cape. And I'm like, all right, well, that. You have your moment, but you're taking a test. So let's get that done.
Many of my coworkers are from ex-French colonies, and they're not too excited about France winning it.
So they got their wish.
Yeah,
they got it
exactly.
Yeah, but it feels really weird to have a World Championship in November, December. It's so weird.
It is weird.
We have those. We have Sinterklaas. We were preparing for Christmas, and then you have orange flags. If you come to the Netherlands during a World Cup, there are multiple streets in cities that are completely orange. Orange flags, orange banners, orange pave walk, crayons, everything orange. And it was really weird in this time of the year.
Yeah, Yeah, I'd like to go somewhere where it's happening for summer, but Lord knows I'm not going to Qatar in July. I just melt. What? Which of course is why they put it in December in the first place. But what are you gonna do? I will say this: if you have events you want to plug over there in Europe that are near you, let us know because we will plug them for you too. So we'll post them on here and we'll do it. But yeah, I'll just bother us because we're friends on Facebook now. You can bug me; it's not going to bug
I know where to find you. You've done it before with my tournament, so I was really happy. I was really proud to be mentioned in it.
me. Well, we're happy to help. We don't have a lot to announce because we're getting close to the end of the year as we record. So, Glenn, you want to do the upcoming events? Talk about what we've got.
Yep. Like Tom said, we don't have much this time. We're in the middle of Kickstarter fulfillment, so if you did the Kickstarter or are on GameFound, or even at this point, if you pre-order, I suspect your orders are still going out the door. Hopefully, you'll get them. You will have gotten them by the time this comes out, since we are having our website issues. But beyond that, the next big things are HMGS Cold Wars, at least on the Atlantic coast, is March 10th through 12th, 2023. It's going to be at the Valley Forge Casino Resort, which is where we were before. I do not know to what extent Tom and I will be there, because Adepticon is March 25th to 29th. I may be going with the Firelock crew out to that, and I do not know. And I'm also not sure if Corinne will let me leave her alone with the children for 2 full weekends in 1 month.
I would say that's a no.
Probably, but maybe.
I also, it's up in the air for me because I have Model United Nations kids, and they might have a conference during one of those weekends, and I don't know which one. So, I might not be able to go to either of them, but we'll see. I do have 184 available sick days. Because 17 years of teaching in a public high school in New York will do that for you. But I don't know if I can swing it. So I don't know. We'll keep you updated as it gets closer. Once we start getting back to a more regular recording schedule. But in the meantime, stay tuned. We will post stuff on the site and let you know.
Yep, and of course, every month we're still doing No Paint Beyond the Lines. If anybody wants to get out, come and hang out for some hobby time. We do that the third Friday of the month at 9 p.m. Here on Discord, and then oftentimes I'll do smaller hobby nights at random. So if you're on Discord, hop over, look in the Firelock area. Sometimes there's people hanging out, chatting.
I think I might.
Usually we're on the quarter deck.
I might try to schedule it while Martin's on. I might say that there are a bunch of like European listeners. Like there's Norwegian listeners, there's Dutch listeners, there's a few in England, and obviously their time zone is different. So if we do it when we normally do at 8 p.m. East Coast time, that would be the middle of the night
2 a.m.
as far as these guys are concerned. It's 2 a.m. So if there are enough people interested in it, we'll post something about this before it happens in January. Like after the new year, I'll probably post something and ask if people are interested in doing it, and then I'll specially schedule it for like a 3 o'clock thing. So it would start at like 9 p.m. for you guys because on a Friday, that's the earliest I can get home
Nice.
really. Because I go to school until 2:30. So yeah, so if you're up for doing that online, we'd love to see what you're painting.
I love to.
So I'm gonna
Yes.
try to do that for January. We'll try to get that going.
Alternatively, we're also often on till midnight or 1 Eastern time. So if you are in Europe and feel like waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning,
We'll see.
you might be able to
then.
catch us.
But I'm not a morning person.
Yeah, I understand.
Neither am I, which makes my choice of profession interesting.
I would love if you can start in the afternoon for you and in the evening for me. It would be nice to join. Except the 13 to 15 January, I'm out of the country then.
Well, this would be the
So that's
20th. So we would be.
Oh, that's
You'd be back.
no problem.
So you're good. All right. So
Yes.
let's tentatively
yes.
plan for that, and I'll post about it. But I will try to be on. I'll put it on my calendar as soon as we finish recording, so I don't forget. But I'll be on at
Nice.
3 p.m. on Friday the 20th, and any Europeans that want to pop on, we can pop on. And even if it's just us, it'll be fun just painting. So I'm down to hang
Oh
out.
yeah, I probably have a lot of painting to do in the next weeks.
Well, I know I do because I have some bets to win with Glenn, but I'm gonna lose so bad. It's stay tuned for that. So I think we're wrapping it up. So Maarten, I really appreciate you being on here. Thank you for making this work. I know it's late for you
No
over
problem.
there. And
No, it's 11 p.m. past 11 p.m. But yeah, it's normal time for us.
all right, so we didn't keep you up too far past your bedtime.
No, we most of the time do not go to bed before this time, so it's no problem. It was nice to have to be here. Nice to be in the show.
And we're grateful you came on. And Glenn probably has to start fighting bedtime battles in like, I don't know how long, Glenn. An hour? How long? You
Oh
got?
man, we're leaving at so we're leaving at 2 a.m. for Florida because the whole plan is to have the kids sleep in the car for as long as possible.
That's hard thing to do. If your kids are like mine kids, they will be awake the whole ride because they like to ride the car.
No, mine are very young, so I'm hoping that by getting them, we've done this before. We get them in the car while they're still like in the middle of the sleep cycle at night, and then they just continue to sleep in the car seats.
Nice.
So
It's
Glenn, I wish you luck.
thanks.
yes.
I'll be texting you as I slowly lose my mind driving. Not texting while driving, just
I'm gonna have it on Do Not Disturb at 2 a.m, but I look forward to reading it all when I wake up at 6 a.m. to go drive to work. So I want to hear like the whole story. I want like a tale. I also want at least 2 pictures of either Alice trying to stab you or like, Samuel screaming. Because one of those 2 things is definitely going to happen at least once.
Oh, I'm sure I'll have some point where all 3 are in the back screaming.
You can always put on a red book. We call it a listening book. Someone who has read it into a tape and you can listen it.
Pick one that's like really like slow droning where it's almost like ambient sound. So it just lulls the person to sleep.
Oh yeah, that'll be good for when I'm driving.
Yeah, exactly. You want to up the challenge, don't you, Glenn?
I think the better plan would have been to talk to you and your family and borrow a limo that has, the divider window where I just roll it up and we don't have to.
We're trying to get my dad to sell that stupid limo because this is probably something for like after the recording's over, but like this man is supposed to be retired and he refuses to retire. It's infuriating. He just replaced like the water pump on the car. Like I didn't even know that was a thing. Like what car has a water pump? Like what are you even talking about?
All of them.
No,
part of the radiator.
No, and it was like $2,000, and I'm like, this isn't your business anymore.
Yeah, because it's a pain to get to.
I want to show up there in the middle of the night and hijack that car like a copper, and just drive it off a cliff because I don't want to have him fix it anymore, and I certainly don't want to drive it down to Newark at 3 a.m. So,
what's gonna blow your mind, Tom, is the replacing it is $2,000. The part is like $30.
It's just that they have to disassemble the engine to get at it, right? Because they have to take the whole thing apart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to take the whole thing apart just to get to it.
Everything's a task, of course. All right. Anyway, Glenn, take us out before I keep complaining about random things that have nothing to do with this podcast.
Speaking of water pumps, though, if you are assembling the new ships, there's a very confusing part on the assembly. It's just a bilge pump. You don't have to include it.
Okay, that's helpful. That's helpful.
Just
Helps me
FYI
research.
to all of our listeners,
Yeah.
and to bring water pumps back around. But in the meantime, thank you for listening, everybody. We look forward to having you next time and getting back to a regular schedule once the NDNG website becomes fully operational again. And in the meantime, we can't do this all without you, and we look forward to seeing you in the various online communities. Have a good one.
Thanks so much for joining the show tonight. Remember to follow us on Twitter at No Dice, No Glory, and keep the conversation going on NoDiceNoGlory.com, now featuring our own message boards. Have a great night, everybody.